Now then, and welcome back to another Friday Night Magic. Today, I've been messing around with this ideal of a deck. There's been recently a Pauper competition. A Pauper competition which, let me just show you quickly the deck, and then we'll talk about the Pauper competition. But during the Pauper competition, I discovered a nice little trick with these couple of guys. Two common instants. Both of which exile target creature I control and return it to the battlefield. This one with first strike, this one at the end step with a +1/+1 counter on it. This is permanent and this is creature. So there's some slight differences and there's some ways to manipulate it a little bit. And so I got those, and I like Helm of the Host, so I figured that would be pretty cool as well. Create a token copy of a creature that it's equipped to, and that token gains haste, which is nice. So I tried to find some creatures that have some decent enter the battlefield triggers. Now, this guy also really intrigues me, something that I really wanted to play around with. The Academy of Iteration. Whenever a wizard enters the battlefield, causes a triggered ability of a permanent to trigger, it triggers an additional time. So I picked a load of wizards. I've tried other things. I've tried green, explore. I've tried red, burn. I've tried black, destroy. I've tried other combinations, but it always seems a bit too clunky when you've got more than the two colours. So I'm sticking to either red or... I'm sticking to either blue or white. And blue-white controlling the game is what we're going for. So, Exclusion Mage enters the battlefield, return target creature to opponent's hand. Yes, and all of these things do that repeatedly. Keeping the creatures off the battlefield and in your opponent's hand has got to be a good advantage. Gain 3 life, draw a card, and is a flying 2/3 to boot, which is not too bad at all. Journeyman costs 1 less to cast if I control a wizard. Okay, likelihood is I'm going to control a wizard. And return creature to opponent's hand. Salvager of Secrets. Return an instant or sorcery card from the graveyard to your hand. Now that is absolutely amazing. I loved it. In the Pauper competition, I loved it because I could block with the Salvager of Secrets and then bounce the Salvager of Secrets. When the Salvager of Secrets comes back into the battlefield after the battle, it's technically blocked and then avoided combat altogether. And then when you enter the battlefield again, they get the spell back that I used to bounce him. So it's very useful as a defense. It's a never-ending defender, as it were, who can block ground-based targets. That's the only disadvantage, ground-based targets. So we've got other things. This Dean of Iteration also says triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger. That ability triggers. So Ajani's Welcome, when a wizard enters the battlefield, would trigger twice, as I understand it. Right? Pretty cool. Search for Azcanta helps me get to a lot of cards very fast early game. I was struggling. Ixalan's Binding is a good all-rounder for anything that's going to cause me trouble that isn't a creature that I can bounce back to hand. And even if it is a creature that I can bounce back to hand, I can time twist the binding to switch to a new target anytime I see a bigger threat on the board. I can time twist it and put it back on the battlefield with a new card. Pretty cool. And then to back it up, we've got some blue control. Counter creature spell, counter non-creature spell, and counter spell. And counter spell. I'm actually going to get rid of the unwinds. I've figured out in the course of playtesting that I need to be able to counter the creature spells as they bounce into the hand. I need to then be able to counter them or draw cards. So I'm not sure whether I should go with a couple of opt for early game, draw cards, or whether I should pick up another couple of counter spells. So I think I'm just going to throw in another couple of Sinister Sabotages, another couple of simple counter spells to make the deck work. So I've then got a decent array of counter spells. So I've got my evasion, I've got my actual things that are going to win the game for me, and I've got a bit of life gain and helping early game stuff achieve. Ixion Bindings, which of course I can cast a couple of times, as it were, and have spells that I can return with Salvager of Secrets. Yeah, the trouble I'm finding is having too many of these in my hand and not enough creatures to deal with things, so let's hope we have a good couple of games. The decks that I've played in the Pauper, there's the Pauper event, let me just quickly show you, the No Escape Pauper. It is the next part, it's the second part of the story-based stuff. So we've got a story-based stuff, and I've gone through and completed the story-based thing, which gave some nice rewards. And as you can see, I finished on a white-green Pauper deck. Now, I tried the red Pauper deck, pretty cool. Tried a red-blue Pauper deck as an upgrade, was okay, got me through a few rounds. And then finished up with a white-green Pauper deck. In particular, this worked really well. Healer's Hawk, Impassioned Orator, Martyr of the Dusk, lifelink, 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 some fly-in, destroy tap creatures, more creatures, more creatures, more creatures, just value really, just value cards, and then stop them from doing anything, destroy any enchantments they play and destroy their creatures, and Inspired Charge to give all these little 1/1s and white weenies a chance to get in there and score some real damage. And it was fairly successful because it's a mixture of flyers and blockers and low-level chump blockers and also a few removal spells. It was quite nice in the Pauper. But for today, I don't want to go back into the Pauper. I want to get my final win in order to get a pack, another 100 gold, and I want to kill some creatures if I can. This deck doesn't quite kill creatures, it kind of bounces creatures, but yeah. Maybe I'll kill a few creatures in first strike damage and things like that. Okay, Rob is at sea. Rob, you're all at sea. Sorry to hear that, mate. Sorry to hear that. Okay, so we've got a pretty good start here. Exclusion Mage is pretty good at returning creatures, and I've got 3 spells that allow me to bounce. Wow. I do get a lot of these in my starting hand. I think I can go down to 3. Pretty sure that's a thing. Sure that that's a thing now. Navigator's Compass. Gain 3 life. Well done. And then, what? Basic land of any colour. That's quite cool. Yeah. I've played around with that myself. Kind of liked it. It's kind of cool in a multicoloured deck. Good at sorting your mana out. Early game and late game, it's good for life as well. Okay, we'll have that out and nothing else. We've now got Ixion's Minding and some Twist Turn It. One more turn and we've got an Exclusion Mage. But I don't need the Exclusion Mage until they play a creature. If they can play a creature, that would be nice. A mass creature. Great. Let's go. I'll just bounce the token. Oh, it's hexproof token, isn't it? Oh, played that one wrong. Okay. Could have been worse. Could have played it right. That's not going to count, is it? Didn't do it. Didn't work. Let's Exclusion Mage. Here's face. Because we can bounce this zombie army anytime we want. That's quite nice to be able to bounce a zombie army, isn't it? We can't target the zombie army while he's on the field, though. So, better to bounce him, let him come back down with another one, and then bounce it again. If I can get a double bounce off, then that's even better. Yep, attack for 2. I can trade if you want. He's not going to want to trade. No, not going to want to trade. And then we don't do anything. We just hold on to our tricky, tricky cards. I've got 2 cards that I'm not going to be able to do anything with, which is great. Mana base needs sorting. Rampaging Monument enters the battlefield with 3 1/1 counters on it. Whenever you cast a multicolored spell, put a 1/1 counter on that monument thing. Let's not let that happen. I don't want him to keep casting it. It can go away. It was a sizable thing as well. 4. Yeah. Sizable 4. Hey, we've got some more land. Good, good. And it's a blue source, which is all important as well. What do we do here then? Bounce the Exclusion Mage and bounce the Overseer, knocking him back another turn of having to play the Overseer. Allowing us to then Justiciar's Portal to first... Oh, that's a terrible idea. I could Justiciar's Portal when he attacks. That's probably more likely a good trick. If I bounce him when he attacks, then bounce him into his hand, and then I get first strike on that. Maybe if I had attacked first. No, he would have blocked with that, wouldn't he? He would have blocked with that instead of blocking with the zombies. That's all good, though. Alright, come on, game. Give me some things. Amass 2. Zombie tokens have flying. Okay. Resolve. Resolve. Okay. And then we've got a flyer coming in. I can Justiciar's Portal now or Time Twist. Let's Time Twist him. When he attacks. Let's see what he attacks with. He's going to attack with that. Knew it. Okay, so we bounce at the end of my turn, start of my turn. I then would bind the Skylord. Yeah, we got to do it this way, man. Turn him into a 3/3, bounce him for the end step. If he had attacked with more things, then that would be an option as well. I'd have blocked it first and then bounced it. But for right now, I'm taking the 4 damage to the face. It's coming back in afterwards. And I'm going to bounce the Hexproof. Because if I bounce the Hexproof away, I'm going to be able to have a turn where I can target the zombie. So, targeting the zombie... Should I get rid of this guy first? Think that zombie token's not big enough yet. Let's get rid of the Skylord. I don't want any more of those. So mass 2 for 1, which is a bit nasty. Or I could bounce. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's exile the token. Right, bear with me. Exile the token. The token's now exiled and gone, and I can. I could probably get through. I could possibly get through. He's not going to attack me with a 3/3, but I can bounce the binding with Teferi's Time Twist to then get the Skylord afterwards. So we'll see how it goes with his turn. Now I've got the binding on the board, as it were. I can get rid of the amassed token over and over again and bounce it around a bit. The Salvager of Secrets is pretty good at stopping things as well. Okay, Phantom Renewal. It's using up a lot of spells. Good. It's not coming out with the 3/3s though. 3/3 versus 3/3. Nothing's going on. Another Time Twist. Perfect. Just what I wanted to see, yes? Okay, so with Time Twist, the binding. We will leave everything else alone and just let this come back in. Put a 1/1 counter on it every time I cast a multicolored spell. I'm not going to do that. When it comes back in, I will get rid of the monument. So he can't cast any more of them. Don't like it. I don't like that when he casts them multicolored spells that he's going to get extra counters on it. Don't like it. Yeah, you can have that. Keep gaining your life. Teferi. Okay. Teferi. I think I need to sabotage Tezzeret. I don't want Tezzeret out. Go on, get lost. Get yourself away, would ya? Oh, I'll have a counter spell to replace the counter spell. Thank you very much, Surveilling. Counter spell to counter the counter spell. At the minute, we're at a stalemate. I've got that sitting now nicely. This could come in and give me back a spell that I want, but right now I think the best bet is to stay going forwards. Let's attack. See if he wants to block. He might not want to trade. He's not trading, so therefore we can attack. And now we do the trick that if he attacks me, I can Justiciar Portal and first strike him. Oh, I'm going to get a 2/2 back in, aren't I? We can absorb counter spell. Goodbye. Oh, he quit. He didn't like counter spells. Doesn't like being controlled. Who does? Okay, so we've won. We've got the points. Let's see what's in the packet. Let's open that pack immediately. See what we've got in the pack immediately. Alright, so we've got a rare. That's good. Another Gideon's Sacrifice. I could do with those. I've got an idea for a deck with those. Invade the City. Amass X. Yeah. Neoform's quite cool. Yeah. Cruelty is pretty good. Yeah. And Role Reversal. I think that's a couple of those I've got now. That's pretty cool. I like the idea of a Role Reversal deck. I might have to mess around with that some other time. Right now, though, let's have another little matchup. See if we can get 2 out of this deck. What have we got? Yuri. Come on then, Yuri. 3 land, all the colours. Binding. Well, yeah, that looks like a good hand if ever I saw one. There was me thinking I needed to change all my mana base around, but nah. Not just yet. Not while I'm having fun with it. Oh wow. That's a neat little start it's having. Yeah, Vanguard on turn 1. Pride Mate on turn 2 then. Yeah, Pride Mate on turn 2. Oh, another Vanguard. Okay, Pride Mate on turn 3 then, is it? Right, yeah. 1 damage, out. Nothing special. That comes in without being tapped. And if I can get my other island out before an Ajani's Pride Mate comes down, then that'd be nice. Nope. So, do I wait to binding the Pride Mate now? There's a question. Or do I just bounce him straight away? Let's get a counter spell out. And let's bounce him to hand for this turn. I can block a 1/1 with a 2/2. And he can play that again next turn. and get the same advantages he had, another 4/4, but that gives me another turn before I Ixalan Binding afterwards. Yeah, there we go. Now he gets the 2 counters on him again. Yeah. Good, good. And then if he attacks, I kill one of these 2, maybe. Oh. Does he want to? I don't know if he wants to trade off. He's hesitating. See, if it was me, I would hold him back, because 3 creatures is the thing that you need to get Ajani's Pridemate going every turn. They could just be the engine for Ajani's Pridemate. But instead, no, he's decided to attack. Fine, not blocking. So now play the Plains and Ixalan's Binding the Pridemate. Boom. And now I'll attack. Because, why not? He's only going to take 2 more life off me. He gains life too fast. Maybe I should have left it as a blocker? I don't know. We'll find out in the following turn, won't we? We'll see what he does now. He hasn't played a creature for a while. He's on 4 mana and he hasn't played a creature for a while. So I believe that he doesn't. He's got a bit of an issue going on here. Might have a different colour, and he's playing mono white at the minute, but he might have a red in there, and not being able to get the red out is a problem. He's got a handful of red, or maybe he's just got some big 6 mana white creatures, or maybe he's got some Ixalan's bindings that he wants to binding my binding, as it were. Or he just doesn't know what to do because he's got a timeout and he doesn't appear to be looking at cards or anything. Normally you see them with white lines around when they're highlighting cards that they're looking at, and he doesn't seem to be doing any of that, does he? So I think it's game over. Will I quit is the question now. Will I be the one to quit because I just want to play the game faster, and am I an impatient youth, or do I look like an old man? I am indeed an old man. Okay, so I think I want to keep the Sabotage up just for now, and just keep attacking. He's now waiting to respond, so clearly he had something in his hand that would enable him to counter me in my attacks. Well, let's fast forward this bit. Yep, there we go. So, opponent decided to walk away and make a cup of tea once I had Ixalan binding his Ajani Pridemate. He went off to lick his wounds. Nice. And we get time for another match. Who are we up against? Jilt. Jilt? Jilt. Maybe Jilt. Okay, so Exclusion Mage seems to be a hot property. Guardmage as well. It's almost where we left off. Almost where we left off. So, got a counter spell available on turn 2, let's hope. Oh, what? Well, that's 3-0, folks. 3-0. Well, that was ridiculous, wasn't it? So we get another claim prize, another 50. Thanks for the charity, mate. Thanks for the charity. A little bit of charity there, not a problem. And see what we got for the next one then. Wow. You think it's getting to that time of day? Pop and draw. Pop and draw. Pop and draw. I've got 2 Ixalan bindings. Oh, this is a good one. I really want to see how the Dean works in this deck. Essence Scatter for an early game, then the Dean comes down. Salvager of Secrets gets a double trigger and 2 Ixalan binding. I think we could be in for another good matchup. My opponent's still on 7 cards, deciding whether he wants to keep. So they're struggling. And they're struggling a lot. We get some very, very slow players. Slow players today. Slow. Very, very slow. I'm keeping mine. I don't need to think twice about it. Don't need to think 14 minutes about it. Oh, not a red deck. Another Ixalan's binding though. So if we get the right kind of... Oh, it's a is it deck. Good. If we get the right kind of people, we can get rid of them. Target sacrifice. Okay. Well, let's Essence Scatter the next thing that comes down. If it's a blue-red pirate, that will be interesting to see. Or is it a blue-red spirits? Can't be blocked except by spirits. Other target creature you control can't be blocked except by spirits. Okay. Yeah. Ouch. Let's enter tapped. It's fine. And let's not worry about the Dean because he's just going to blow spells up and Dean will just fall over. Dean will just fall over to a shock spell and the like. Let him waste his spells on my face for a bit and see what happens. Favourable winds. Okay, well, we don't have any spirits to worry about, so let's keep going. Alright, Exclusion Mage. We can pop that up. I know he's probably going to kill him off, but it's going to slow him down a little bit. We know he's got to cast that spell as well then. And if we get another bit of red spell to the face, we're going to be saving our Dean of Iteration. Yeah, bring it. Come on. Bring it, bring it, bring it. I've got 3... It's what? It's taken control? It's just taken control. It's just takes control of it. Is this exile target creature you control? It is, isn't it? Okay, Ixalan's binding. Let's binding my own Exclusion Mage. Just because I've got them. And then I can bounce that and it should return to my side of the field at some point very soon, shouldn't it? Yeah? Should. Enigma Drake. That's definitely a binding. Bind it right now. Bind it up. Get rid. I don't want any more of them down. We're not having Drakes down. Nope, no Drakes. I'm running out of mana again. This is terrible. But he's going to hit me for 2, maybe 3, 4, something like that. Yeah, Lightning Strike. Yep. At least the Dean's going to be clear for a bit. Get some life gain if I can. Yeah, let's get that. Good, good. Alright, now. Do I bind him? I guess I'll bind him. I'll bind him so he can't keep hitting me. Because there's nothing I can do apart from take it to the face. Unless I gain some life from something, this game is just going to be red deck, top deck for the win. Good. Doesn't seem to have anything other than probably stuff to kill creatures off. So let's bring the Dean out. We'll keep him down like that. We've got the portal and the Essence Scatter open. So if he does get targeted by a spell, we will Justiciar portal him and bring him back. Safe and sound. Which I will also do with this one the following turn to get Justiciar portal back after that. All seems very, very good, doesn't it? Yeah? Excellent. If only I had some life gain in this. It'd be great. And Teferi's Time Twist would be nice right now to get the binding back so I could have the Exclusion Mage back on my side of the pitch as well. Yes, yes, yes. It does it twice. Yes, yes, yes. It's going to do it twice. Amazing, isn't it? What you gonna do about it? Maybe you can't cast anything because I've bindinged it. I've bindinged it out, so you can't cast it, you can't get your deckhand, and you can't get your drakes. Do what you must. Thank you very much. Academy Journeymage. I haven't tried this one yet either. It costs 1 less, so that means it's only going to cost me 4. When it enters the battlefield, return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. Yes. But I don't have that right now. I could just use it to put pressure on. I could just use it to put pressure on. I could also use that to put pressure on. A 3-2 is going to put a lot more pressure on though. And I've still got enough mana to do that. So we will put pressure on. Academy Journeymage and the Dean, 5 hits per turn. We will... Do I really want to essence scatter that little thing? Counter target spell or ability that targets... Yeah, we'll let it resolve. So I can always bounce the Journeymage. Pass the turn. Pass. Okay, so he's going to think that the Storm Tamer is going to have a couple of turns here. Oh, hold on a minute, hold on a minute. He's going to think it, but it ain't going to be true. Exclusion Mage down, bouncing back to your hand. Away you go. And, well, I'll trigger it twice, I guess. I suppose I could trigger it for itself, couldn't I? That would be cool. If I used the Dean, I could have triggered the Exclusion Mage on the creature opposite the battlefield and on himself as well, as a cool little trick. So I get it back so I can do it again next turn. But for right now, let's just keep all attacking. That's 5 damage a turn for a little bit. Keeping him on the battlefield for 7 damage a turn. That means he's on a 2-turn timer now. Yeah, should be okay. If that's all you've got, mate, that's all you've got, isn't it? And the cloaked, I'm going to get rid of the unblockable 1-1. Because I really don't need that in my life. We're good. Alright, and now let us Justiciar Portal, the Exclusion Mage, bounce it, bring it back, get rid of you, and himself. Oh, I can't. It's target opponent controls. Ah, yeah, yeah. Okay, next. Next, and all attack. 5 attackers. Here we go. Damage, damage, damage. Boom, boom, boom. If only I had the life gain that I need. If I only had the life gain. Yeah, just keep resolving it. Whatever. Uh-huh. Lightning strike me. That's the worst bit. I need that life gain now. I need a creature that comes out with a life gain. Anything. Let's do this. Bounce it now. Bounce that back to his hand. Bounce it back to his hand. Go, go, go. And they're there for my turn then. Almost. Almost there for my turn. Now this comes out. I get 2 spells I want. Let's get that. And that. Thank you. Now, do I counter it or do I just attack into it? I've got the opportunity to bounce it depending on what I want. So I'm going in for quite a lot of damage. Is he going to block it? Am I going to take the creature out? Come on. That's 7 damage. Yes, he is going to do it. I think that's worth it. That's okay. Yeah. We'll do that. I still don't have a life point coming in at me, though. So if he draws something off the top deck now, anything off the top deck, and I'm down. What's he going to do? I think he just drew a land, though. If he top decked a lightning bolt, that would have been nasty. Boom, he's gone. Yes. We won the way it's meant to be played. The controlling, bouncing deck of the blue-white. And they got another card. Another Death Sprout. Good. I like having a playset of that. Very close to getting some more monies and killing some more creatures. And very close to getting this. But that is all we've got time for in today's episode. Come up with a deck idea. The name for this deck, whatever you want to call it, put it in the description, in the comments down below. And let's see who comes up with the best deck name. I will name it and save it and put it in my description for all those to see who come after you to watch the videos. Thank you very much for watching today's episode. I will see you next time for some more Magic the Gathering.